You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
Wow, welcome to paradise, huh? Opinions expressed are those of the show host, not WPSL, WSTU, or EXP Realty. Any reproduction or reuse of this program without the written consent of WPSL or WSTU is strictly prohibited. Now, welcome to my Dream Home Radio Show. Your chance to find that dream home with your host, Eileen Simmons and Paula Brady. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, and you have a special guest as well, huh?
We do. Anna Valencia Tillery from White Glove Moving, Storage, and Delivery.
You nailed it, girl. Well done, Eileen.
I guess you need a moving company if you're going to move into a new home, right?
Well, usually, yes.
Yeah.
It helps. It can make things easier, that's for sure.
There you go. Well, tell us about the concept of your new show here, which we thank you for signing the 20-year contract, which is normal around here.
Well, the concept is fairly simple. We live in paradise, and we want everybody to know about the Treasure Coast of Florida as far as the real estate is concerned. We're hoping that we get a lot of involvement from people calling into the show and asking questions or making suggestions about topics we can discuss. The show pretty much is going to cover four different segments when we're here on Monday mornings. There's going to be a real estate topic of the week. This week it has a lot to do with decor and decorating ideas. We're going to have a featured guest expert, which of course is Anna today. We will be featuring listings of the week, and we'll also be featuring a community. Paula's going to talk about River Place this week.
Very cool. That's good stuff. Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you find the Treasure Coast?
I found the Treasure Coast many years ago. We started coming here during the holidays because my father-in-law was a resident in Stewart. And so we came here starting in the mid-'80s when there was very little on Federal Highway, very much unlike it is today. And so then...
Were there traffic signals? No, I've heard stories that you could go from almost Vero Beach down to Stewart.
Well, and where we live, we could see the railroad track from where we live on Federal Highway, which of course you can't anymore. We could walk to Stewart, which is very difficult nowadays. The new bridge, of course, wasn't there. All we had was the drawbridge.
Yes.
That's always fun.
Oh. Yeah, I remember when that thing got stuck up. Yes.
There was no Stewart exit off of 95, that's for sure.
That's right, yeah.
So it was very different then.
Wow. So you've been down here how long?
Full time, I've been down here 5 years. I came down 5 years ago to retire, and then when I saw how good the real estate market was, I said, oh no, I can't retire. I have to keep working.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, when we got here, which was 93, I think Port St. Lucie was around 50, maybe 50,000. Yeah.
It's changed.
Yeah, it's going to change a lot more. Yeah, it's amazing. And Anna, you're from Vero.
Yeah, I reside in Vero.
Yeah.
Originally from Michigan, though, so that's a commonality.
Wow.
Eileen and I have been down here 16 years, and there's many of us looking to make the move, and it's a wonderful thing to help facilitate it because that's a big trek.
So how did you get to this side of the state? Because usually Michiganders would go
take
Tampa
75
Bay.
till it dead ends. Absolutely,
That's
that's
right.
what most
Yeah.
people do.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Yeah.
Or take 75 to the Turnpike and come over to the
and
East
then
Coast.
cruise over to this side. Truthfully, I owned a business at the time that specialized in EIFS, stucco, painting, and so when the big three were pulling out of Michigan, we just started marketing to Florida. I found a couple of great projects on the Gulf side but did a drive across the state to go visit a girlfriend who was already living here. And the hurricane damage in '04 was still pretty prevalent.
Oh, boy.
And I said, oh my gosh, this town needs me. So I knocked on a few of the car dealerships' doors. I landed every contract, and I've literally been here ever since.
Wow. Awesome.
Maybe
That's
you're at home.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Paula, what about you?
Well, I've been here and gone away and come back.
Okay.
I came to Florida in, well, goodness, it's going to show my age, but 76 to take my first position out of training. I was in ultrasound, an ultrasound technologist at the time.
Ooh.
And I met my husband.
You were 5 years old at that time.
Right,
I take it.
exactly,
Right.
exactly, yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
We moved up the state. We got to Orlando and spent about 10 years there, and then a business moved us to the Maryland area, Baltimore, and we were up there about 25 years. Then my husband decided that we needed to come back down here so he and his brother could fish. So
Naturally.
and then maybe retire. So we moved back down here about 5 years ago, and he did actually retire 2 years ago. And I'm trying not to retire because I'm afraid I'll sit down and never get back up again. So I'm trying to keep busy.
There you go. Sounds good. Well, Eileen, you talked about having various topics for the shows.
Yes.
Let's start.
Okay. Well, the promo that I recorded, of course, says that the real estate market is hot, and it is very hot. I brought some, I've been reading statistics, of course, to stay updated all the time, and recently read that over 25% of online users looked into moving or relocating during the last 4 months. COVID, when we thought it was going to shut everybody in and shut everybody down, actually has done the opposite thing. So many people have discovered that they can work remotely now, and so they want to move to different areas of the state or different areas of the country, which of course they're going to need Anna's help with as well as our help. So I thought that was a pretty interesting statistic. Over 25% of online users have looked into moving or relocating during the last 4 months.
Wow. That's mind-boggling.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, over 25%.
That's amazing, really, but but you don't blame them for wanting to come here. And most people are looking for places that they can entertain and be active in their own home and yard and that kind of thing. So they're looking for the weather, as I think a lot too. But
Yes, I mean, I love my friends and my relatives up north, but they're digging out of a snowstorm right now. And I drove here with my sunroof open today because it's such a gorgeous morning.
Yes. Go ahead, rub it in. Yeah, all my friends in Connecticut, of course, we've started this whole thing. One of my old ESPN compatriots has just moved to Port St. Lucie. And so when we had our winter, which last week for 2 days, he shot a video of himself. It was hysterical, freezing to death. And of course, obviously, the arrows are coming down from Connecticut. They hate us already. Yeah, it's great. It's great. So now, Anna, with your moving company, where are you seeing people coming from?
Sure. So right now, since the onset of COVID, last year, for example, our biggest move was people coming from California to Florida. It was a popular move that we saw sequentially happen time and time again. Right now, it's a lot of folks from the Northeast coming down, and for good reason. I mean, Florida is incredibly attractive for home ownership, the cost of living. I mean, there's just many perks. And being that they have the flexibility now, as you pointed out in your statistic, 25% of these online users are saying, hey, I have the ability to work from anywhere. Why tie myself here when I can get so much more bang for my buck elsewhere?
Right.
Along with perpetual sunshine and palm trees, it's just a bonus.
Yeah.
However, from within the state, our biggest move is folks from the Miami area coming up to the Treasure Coast. And so we have 16 trucks right now in our fleet, 2 of them large tractor trailer semis that we're going almost weekly up the Atlantic coastline into the Northeast and coming down. So we'll take, just say on average, 3 to 5 families out on one shipment and come down with 7 plus, because they are consolidating, willing to buy a lot of stuff new once they're here. But that just goes to show some of the volume. There was a number we heard recently since COVID that is 1,000 people a day moving to Florida.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And Anna, you're associated with a national moving company, right?
So for reputable movers, in order to help facilitate the interstate moves, you need to operate under a federally recognized van line. And we have the privilege of being under the Beacons Wheaton van line umbrella. They're one of the largest van lines in the nation with an incredible long run history, upwards of 130 years. Back when it was horse-drawn carriages and, and they got it done then, and we get it done now. They have really rigorous background screenings and checks and things that they want their agents to be accountable for, so that when an agent such as myself in the Treasure Coast as White Glove Moving and Storage, we can call upon one of our sister agencies in another state. So let's take, for example, Michigan. And we can ask them to help us perform a survey, say that the family is in Michigan coming down. This way we're not necessarily relying on just the questionnaires of the consumer. We're having somebody come out and physically be able to see what the scope of the work is. What does the driveway look like? How rigorous are the hills? Because not all trucks are going to fit in all areas. Same case in point, we have a lot of those issues here in Florida with those beautiful live oaks and those giant, massive, low-hanging branches. Most large trucks can't fit through those, so that would be when a shuttle or something like that needs to be accompanied. So anyways, they help us perform the survey, and then 9 times out of 10, one driver, after a crew helps load everything up, one driver brings it to the ultimate destination, and then the agent in whichever state would send crews to help with the offload and the assembly, bringing everything into the new home, which is really quite exciting.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's very cool. Well, it's funny you say the Miami thing, because, as Eileen and I were talking the other day about the Florida scorecard, Dr. Jerry Parrish of the Florida Chamber, where, the Treasure Coast historically over the last 30 years has been New York, Mid-Atlantic, and then up in New England. Now it's Miami, West Palm, then New York. So, and what's funny, when you drive the turnpike down in Miami, you start seeing signs, affordable housing. See our affordable housing in
sure.
Port St. Lucie. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
And believe it or not, there really are a lot of Michiganders that came to the Treasure Coast also. That's how we got here, because my father-in-law was interested in the good golf in this area. So he came down 75, went across the turnpike, and ended up in Stewart.
Voila.
Yeah.
I thought you were
fact.
just trying to escape the University of Michigan football team.
Oh.
But that's all right. That's,
No, it was a
we
wonderful
don't even
team
want to go
then.
there.
Fun fact, there's nearly 1,300 golf courses in the state of Florida.
Is that
Woo.
Yes.
Are there really?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny because Dr. Parrish was at IRSC 2 years ago, and he was saying it used to be a planned community was around a golf course. He says now it's around a hospital. And so it was like, okay.
Yikes.
Oh, I know.
We have several nice hospitals in the area, though, too.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
Which is actually part of the attraction to the community that you'll be featuring today, right?
Exactly, yeah, because our community is not, the demographics are changing a bit. Initially, it was retired people, 55 plus. There's no actual limitation on age. But now, since I've been here 5 years in this community, we've seen younger families moving in with children, and there weren't that many initially when we moved in. So it's a diverse community with different ages and different, what I'm trying to say.
The amenities and the different things now
for
are evolving
everybody.
too, because of the demographic is changing.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. So
Where it used to be just a retirement community, it no longer is, because you need people to support the services for all of those retirees, and so families come in, and
Exactly.
it becomes much more diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there were a lot of, assumptions in the 90s at least that Port St. Lucie was strictly a retirement town. But you look at the median age, there are a lot of young people
Young
here.
people.
Oh, yes.
And, oh, yeah, you bet.
Well, because it's so affordable, I think, for young people to get into new homes and first-time buyers and that kind of thing. Because in other areas, it's just out of the market for them. It's out of their range. They don't make enough money. But here, it's more affordable, and you get a lot for your money here. So that's the nice part too. You get a nice size home, nice size yard, and a lot of amenities around the area. Especially if you're into water sports and the fishing and the boating and
All
that
that
kind of thing.
ecotourism.
Or
We
eco-
love
yeah,
all of that.
yeah.
Right.
Well, that's one nice thing too about our community. We're right next to the Oxbow Eco Center, and with a lot of nature trails and that kind of thing, as well as our community itself has like 2 miles worth of nature trails.
Paula,
So
why don't you tell everybody about the community you're speaking of?
it's called River Place on the St. Lucie, and we actually have access to a canal that gets you to the St. Lucie River. We're on the north fork of the St. Lucie. We're about 3 miles south of Midway, so we're in the northern part of St. Lucie County.
So you're off at 25th.
Yes, just 3 miles south of Midway on 25th. St.
Gotcha.
James.
Okay. I
Uh-huh.
drive by it all the time.
Right,
Okay.
right. So it has 293 acres of mixed family homes. There's some single family homes and townhomes. There's actually 5 little subdivisions within River Place that 3 of them have been there quite some time, and then there's 2 other communities that are still have some new builds. Some of the Eco Village townhomes are building, and then there's another community called Little Turtle, and it's individual homes, but they're still building in there. So once it's all built out, there'll be about 500 front doors.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a nice community.
How long is the build out on that?
Well, that just depends on the market, but I wouldn't think it'd be too long. The one single family home community has 53 lots, and I think they have it built out of about 30 now, so it's not too far off. The townhomes have quite a few yet that they can build, but there should be, let me just see, Eco Village should have about 127 homes. I think right now they only have 30 that are actually built. But so there's some room
They'll
there.
go in a hurry.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely will.
Wow.
Because the nice part of that about that too is that the Eco Village has a lot of green energy available. Like the
You got
My
hiking
mind just
trail.
goes blank.
You got Oxbow right next door.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they have within the home itself they have solar panels
So it's
available.
built green wise.
Yeah,
Oh,
green-wise.
right.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I was trying to get to too. So it's a very progressive community. So that'll
Which
be
they
nice.
say that's supposed to yield some incredible cost savings down the road, and to have it,
Absolutely.
to not have to retrofit it, to have it from
Yeah.
scratch upon conception, well, that is
Right.
ideal.
Makes such a big
Right.
difference.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
And Paula is definitely our community specialist for River Place. So if anybody wants information about River Place, they can contact Paula through our email, which is mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com. And Paula, do you want to give them your direct phone number?
Sure. The phone number is 410. It actually fools you because it's a Maryland area code, but 410-271-1914. Be glad to help you with any questions that you might have about the community.
All right. And unlike Publix, you can buy more than one. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. So, but we
Yeah, they're
that's
not made of paper, that's for sure.
How much, seriously, how much has COVID changed all of you guys? I mean, the ways of doing business. It's got to be pretty radical.
Well, it's a radical change for some people. It's not a radical change for other people. We are fortunate because the company that our licenses are with, which is EXP Realty, has been a advanced. I'll call it advanced as far as our technology. It is a company that's built on a virtual platform. So we can go and interact with any of the offices that we need to, that are our support offices. Anytime we went to virtually, we are in many countries besides United States and Canada. So we can go into a meeting when we have over 40 hours of training every week. We can go into a training or a meeting in our EXP world, and we're in that environment with people from all over the country and different countries in the world. It's really a wonderful experience. We didn't have to, because we already had this technology, we didn't have to make as large of a change as some other organizations may have had to.
So you were doing like video tours and stuff like that before
Yes.
COVID?
Right. And
Oh.
because we already had the technology, it was much easier for one, if we had agents within the company that weren't doing that, it was much easier for them to make that transition.
That's
Right.
amazing.
Right. All of us basically work from home or wherever we are. So as long as you have internet service, you can do what you need to do.
Sure.
So
Now, Anna, what about you? I mean, you guys, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
well, it was really odd because there was that lull in the second half of April where we just were quite nervous, and we ended up there was nothing to be done, yet here we had 50 full-time guys, and so we ended up doing all sorts of beautiful updates to our 70,000 square foot campus in Indian River County. And then before we knew it, we were just at max capacity since May through now, which typically we would not be at this type of heightened volume. The number of moves we did prior, on Thanksgiving Eve was like upwards of 14. Historically, we would just be doing small things within a home to help a family get situated for Thanksgiving dinner, not full-on moves. So it's been very different. The cost of the PPE has definitely increased for us, whereas typically we would only have to provide booties and rubber gloves for occasional things. Now are a mandate, along with all the masks and the additional volume of hand sanitizers and portable hand washing stations that we created for each of our trucks. Initially, all of the surveys were virtual, so we were trying to educate consumers that maybe aren't the most phone tech savvy and try and get them to walk around their home and slowly open all the doors so we could see really what was inside and gauge some of the
Sure.
things,
Oh, yeah.
so that we could give them an accurate price as well as accurately have our calendar on point to ensure that they get the proper amount of men for the move that they need. But now we see that people are feeling more comfortable having people come in wearing the mask, knowing that they're thermal scanned every day. People are back to the sense of, hey, if we're going to go ahead and perform this move after all, and I'm going to have movers in our house, that was always the joke. People are like, so all of this can be done virtually. I'm like, up until the day of the move.
Right.
And then at some point, I'm going to have to send in some men
Yeah.
to help knock this out. But truthfully, it's been some changes. It's been some additional cost to us, but we've been able to keep our rates and keep our men busy. At no point did anyone have to take advantage of any of the unemployment or anything. We just kept busy and chugged along, and as a company, we're stronger and better for it. But yes, it certainly has changed the landscape a
So
little bit.
you were fortunate that you didn't have to lay off anybody.
Not a
right?
one.
that's
Yep.
excellent.
Wow,
That's
that's-
excellent.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
That is.
Wow. Want to take a quick break?
Absolutely. Sure.
Let's do it. You're on My Dream Home Radio Show. We'll be back.
Are you looking for your dream home on the Treasure Coast? I am Eileen Simon, a licensed realtor with eXp Realty. My team and I can help you find your dream home. I bring 20 plus years experience in the residential real estate market, helping both buyers and sellers achieve their dreams. Call me at 772-200-5105 or visit our website at mydreamhomeusa.com.
The Florida Gators host Alabama for the SEC Championships at 8 on WSTU. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish play the ACC Championship game against Clemson at 4 on WPSL. The Bulls begin in Boca with UCF hosting the Boca Bowl on Tuesday, the 22nd. NCAA football is brought to you by the Quit Dog Foundation of Martin County, Las Brisas Mexican Restaurant in Fort Pierce, Indian River State College Athletics, Nice Air, the St. Lucie Draft House, Hoskins Turco, Lloyd & Lloyd, Seacoast Air Conditioning, Stimmels of Stewart, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and estate planning attorney Max Stuckey.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
State, declare it.
You're on My Dream Home radio show with Eileen Simon, Paula Brady, and a very special guest, Anna Valencia. And you're on both WPSL, WSTU, and of course worldwide on TuneIn, Google Home, and Alexa. So all 20 million of you, especially those listening in California, you've got realtors here and you've got a moving company here. Come on down.
Everything you need.
Okay. What's next?
Just to piggyback on what we were talking about before, I wanted to let everyone know that the Florida Realtor Association is very concerned about safety for everyone. So they early on in COVID, they put out recommendations for us as far as being able to physically show properties when necessary. So we do wear masks. We do social distancing. We do sanitizing before we go into a house and when we leave a house. I know as far as my sellers are concerned, I ask them to open doors so that nobody's touching interior doors while we're in the house. So they open closet doors, they open cabinet doors, they open any of the interior doors they have. They open the interior door from the garage to the house. And we make sure that we are just as safety conscious and health conscious as we can absolutely be.
Really, really good. Yeah, and that's our new reality, I think. Seriously.
I think it is too. Yes.
Well, until we all get vaccinated, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah.
I know
It's going to be a while.
Yeah, it will be a while, and then whether everybody chooses to do it or not too. But I think it'll help. Years and years ago with the flu, it took a while to get the vaccine, but over the years now, that's helped to keep that down. So hopefully that'll be the same with this. But
I think it eventually will also.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So we're going to talk some more about these hot statistics for the hot Florida market. This was an article that I read this weekend from our Florida Realtors magazine. I have several different publications that come to me through email. All of them have good information, so each week I'm hoping to feature one or two of these articles. And if anybody wants copies of them, because normally these just go out to realtors, so if anybody wants copies of them, they can contact us through our email address and ask for a copy, and I'll be happy to send it to them. So this one came from the Florida Realtors. It's from November 25th, which was just the other day. 3 Florida metros in the top 20 for sales of new homes. And that is an 8.6 increase year to year from last year to this year as far as new construction is concerned. I don't know if you've noticed, but we are having quite a boom of new construction on the Treasure Coast and Florida in general, because all these people moving here could not be, we did not have the supply of existing properties that we needed. So of course all of our builders are very happy with the influx of all of the new people who are ordering the new homes. I talked to a builder the other day who has enough contracts to take them all the way through July of 2021 right now.
Wow.
Yes. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. No kidding.
Yes. So these statistics came out of a Washington article, and it says that single-family home builds have reached their highest level since spring of 2007. And the three areas, although we know we are seeing a huge increase in new construction here, but the three areas in Florida that are seeing the largest and are on this top 20 list are Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa.
That I-4 corridor, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's very interesting. Again, going back to Dr. Jerry Parrish's Florida scorecard, he was talking about tracking money from 1900 to the present. And from 1900 to 1950, it was the I-10 corridor. And from 1950 to just 4 years ago, it is the I-4 corridor. Mm-hmm. And for the next 40 years, the economic development bullseye is on Port St. Lucie, Treasure Coast.
That's excellent.
40 years.
That's amazing.
Yes.
So that's very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's on the Florida Chamber website. If anybody wants to see it, there's scary numbers in there, but it's reality. It's yeah.
Right, and of these top 20 metro areas that they're talking about in this article, the number one is Raleigh, North Carolina, and they are up 81.7% year over year.
Wow.
Jacksonville is up 68.4%.
Oh.
Where did it go? Orlando is up 31.7%, and Tampa is up 39.7%.
Yeah.
Just since last year.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. When we go up with IRSC to play at State College of Florida in Jacksonville, it's South Jacksonville. It's down Butler and out there. There's nothing but new roofs. It's like you cannot go 95, east to the water without seeing new constructions, whether it's shopping centers, homes, you name it. It's exploding.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
Orlando's the same way. I was up there recently, and from years ago when we lived here, I couldn't believe it. I didn't recognize anywhere that I went. All the roads are different. There's so much construction and so much new housing up there. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's this state is just going nuts. And I presume this is probably what California was, when I was growing up in the 50s. It was a huge boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And of course now everybody's leaving California, as Anna mentioned. and as we heard over the weekend, Oracle taking 138,000 workers with them to Texas. Of course, Tesla already made the announcement. That's 150,000 workers. And goodness knows what's going to happen. Who's next at Silicon Valley that's leaving?
exactly.
Yeah.
California is a little scary to live in right now out there with all the craziness that's going on. So
And Florida's so attractive to them.
Yeah.
How convenient. They're going to love this show.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They move all the way across the south because I know family in Arizona says that Arizona's a boom from people from California as well. So a lot of different areas.
Oh,
there.
yeah. And, of course, the new Silicon Valley is in Salt Lake City.
Oh, is that right?
Again, low taxes.
Low taxes, correct.
And,
yes.
and it's just unlimited land.
Right.
So, yeah.
What we
Yeah.
try to do is get the biggest bang for our buck. We want to live where it's the most affordable for us.
Sure. Yeah, and I think that what your community right there on the St. Lucie River, of course, you got Publix nearby. I mean, everything you really need
It's very close.
is very close to
Yeah.
that development.
Yeah, the shopping. There's a haircuttery. There's a liquor store. The Publix. There's a new 7-Eleven being built, and there's a McDonald's. You can't, can't forget them. But it is very close. But then you're also so close to. You're within probably 10 minutes of St. Lucie West, and all the shopping and businesses that are available in that area. So it's very, and you're very close to the ocean, and we have actually in our community a boat ramp, access to the river, boat and kayak launches. So you can be out on the water in just a few minutes. So it's a very, very nice community, but it's set back, very quiet. It's not gated, but it feels very secure because all of the individual subdivisions in the community, once you come into River Place, they have only one access in and one access out. So from what we've been told by the police, that's a very advantageous thing to someone not being able to come in, grab things and run. So
And the landscaping really,
it's beautiful.
you're
It's
set back
luscious.
enough,
Right.
and it's
Right.
it's like a hidden gem.
Right,
Very-
and they've kept a lot of the natural
Right.
yeah.
advantages to the area also. Don't you have a big park in there, Paula?
We have it's a fairly good sized park. It's a public park that's within the community. It has volleyball, basketball, sand volleyball, basketball, softball, a kids play area. So there's a park available there as well, and the nature trails that I mentioned earlier. So it's got a lot of, plus the community is a very active and friendly community. A lot of people walk and jog, and I'm out with my dog quite often. So, there's a lot of people out with dogs. It's a very friendly community and a very, like you say, natural look because of there's a lot of old growth trees there. And that was one thing that someone that just moved into our community said to me the other day, that when they first drove in to see it, they just loved the trees that were there because the trees have grown now. The community's 15 years old actually, but the trees have grown enough that we have a lot of live oaks. We have several Royal Poincianas, and the community's a very pretty nature-wise, landscape, that kind of thing. So, and it's got a nice big pool with a lap area that you can swim in, a clubhouse that's with a exercise rooms and spa, and the clubhouse also has a meeting area with a fireplace and a kitchen available, so you can have meetings there. So
We just move the radio station in there.
There you go.
we could do it. So
And can they walk on the sidewalk, and also isn't there a nature trail?
there's 2 miles of a nature trail that you can walk back through the community and through the forest and wetland area, but then there's sidewalk as well. So it's a pleasant place to live. We enjoy it there.
River Place. It does sound nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
River
it
Place.
does, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And again, if you want information about the properties available in River Place, or for some reason you have to leave this beautiful Treasure Coast, contact Paula. She's happy to help you. You can use our email address, which is mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com, or you can contact Paula directly at
Paula.brady@exprealty.com.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Short and simple.
Yeah.
Another article I was reading this week gives a lot of great information about what's happening in decorating and decor and the way they are changing floor plans of homes that are being constructed right now. I thought one thing was very interesting because they talked about kitchens having 2 areas now instead of, this is like the answer for all the people who don't want the totally open floor plan anymore because they don't want people to see their mess in the kitchen when they're cooking. So now they have 2 parts to the kitchen. They have the viewing part of the kitchen, which is beautiful, with the island where everybody can sit around and converse, and you can be part of the group when you're cooking. And then they have the behind the scenes, behind a wall part where you're doing your food prep and things like that. And so I'm really interested to see those kinds of homes when they do come to the market. This is a really cool article. It's called A Myriad of Home Trends to Gain Momentum in 2021. I'm happy to send it out to anybody who wants to request it through our email.
Is it obviously when you decide to show your house, it should be at least pleasant looking, I would hope.
Yes, we would hope so, yes.
Yeah. So how can you do that?
And live in it? Oh, you absolutely can.
Okay.
Yes.
Have Anna come and move everything out for
That's
you.
what I was just
go.
going to say. You're probably going to say, have Anna
Secure
take
some
it all,
temporary
take all the
storage.
junk out.
Get all this out of here.
You'd be surprised how many times we do suggest something like that to people, because if they're moving and they are taking everything with them, there's a certain amount that they want to just pack up in advance, so that what I suggest people do is they neutralize the house as much as they can, which means they take personal items out. You have to pack to move anyway, so you might as well pack those personal items up and put them in a usable closet space that you have, or call Anna and she can get them into a secure location for you to keep them until it's time for your move.
Do you get a lot of calls like that, Anna?
Yes, surprisingly so. And one of the advantages to our setup for storage being full service is that we have areas within our campus dedicated just to the short-term storage in light of how quickly inventory is moving right now. And so many cash transactions happening, which has just totally changed the ball game of what would typically take a 45-day to wrap your head around the process into, I need to move in 10 days because these people have cash and that's what's happening. We can simply help get some of the big stuff up and out, and they can be able to have more of a neutral canvas, as Eileen had described, and we just keep everything in the temporary storage. Or we can help with doing much more than that and creating more of an empty canvas. I have a number of folks that have decided they took some company buyouts. They decided they're going to travel, and we just take everything and put it into our storage. It's all itemized. They know what they have. They know when if in the event that they want it. For example, I have a client that they packed up in the RV, and 3 months from now, we're supposed to be sending all of their ski stuff to them at destination. And aside from that, we keep everything until further notice. Yeah. And, they were waiting on the house to sell, but they just felt like they had the buyout, they had the time, and why not get started? So everyone's case is unique and special. But, yes, there is nothing lacking in an advantage to have 50-plus men with muscle and an array of trucks of assorted sizes and a climate and humidity controlled storage facility to help make those pieces that much easier.
Right.
Wow, that's great.
Right. One of the things that Anna brought up is the fact that there are so many cash transactions nowadays, and it does happen a lot faster. Our guest next week will be from Chelsea Title, and they will be talking with us about how they make those cash transactions close so quickly.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
fun.
and you hear more and more about that. It's amazing, and I would imagine, again, going back to your friends from the north, you get a lot more down here.
Definitely, yeah. They get more for their money down here, so they sell up there and come down and can just buy something right away with cash and move in. They're ready to go.
But the thing to remember also is our prices are increasing very quickly. So it's not as inexpensive to come down and buy property as they think it's going to be many times. Last statistics I saw for Port St. Lucie or St. Lucie County, the average home price is $240,000. And in Martin County, the average home price is like $320,000 now.
Ooh, yeah, that's amazing. Well, and of course, Martin County will have along 714. The new tradition, I guess, is finally going to come to fruition. They've been talking about it for 25 years.
And Canner Highway expansion, the growth will go west also.
Yeah, and well, there's nothing but land out there. You head down 76. Yeah, it's wide open. Now the question: will Martin County allow that? I mean, that's
well, it's already starting.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Now, do you live at the Florida Club or?
I do not. I live in a 55 and over little condo community off of Federal Highway, but I love the Florida Club. That's why I decided to put my office there this year. So we have recently, just last week, had our grand opening where Anna was nice enough to participate in. And so now we have the newest branch office for eXp Realty located in the Florida Club, but it is open to the public. There are no gates necessary to get to our office. And the office address is 9014 Southwest Old Royal Drive, Stuart, Florida, 34997. We are right across the street from the clubhouse for the Florida Club Golf Course.
That's
okay.
That's a public course.
Yes, that's a public course.
And that is west of 95?
Just west of 95 off of Canner.
Cool. Yeah, that's really neat.
So it's positioned properly for future growth.
Indeed.
Definitely.
Look at Anna. Her eyes are dancing. Yeah,
Yes, we
future
love
growth.
it.
Get those people in there. Yeah, that's funny. That's great. Yeah, it's, you just look at this whole area, and there are pockets that are literally exploding. Now, the one place it isn't really is the island yet. And I've been waiting for that for a long time.
Well, but if you drive the island, I was out there just a few days ago, pretty soon there will be no more vacant land on the island because there are signs on almost every open piece of property.
Oh, boy.
For sale signs, yes.
Fort Lauderdale, here we come. Yeah, because, I mean, that's what they used to, that's how St. Lucie County used to sell the best, the best treasure on the Treasure Coast. Was, the least known was St. Lucie County. Wow, that's great. Well, be interesting.
So I brought along a couple of, since we're talking so much about new construction today.
Well, yeah, we've only got about 6 minutes left. We've flown through the show. What about listings?
I brought along a couple of featured listings that are available. These are both new construction properties, one in Port St. Lucie in Tradition and one in Martin County in the Jensen Beach area. And I can certainly give you more information if you want to contact me directly about them. The one in Tradition, this is a builder's model, so it's coming fully furnished.
Ooh,
yes.
Nice.
Yes. 2 bedrooms plus a den. It has a 2-car attached, of course, garage. And the list price on this is only $379,000. It's 2,580 square feet total, which in Florida, that includes your lanai and your garage. It includes all the area. 1,619 square feet under air. That is in a 55 and over community in Tradition, and it's available for a January or February move-in. So let me know if you're interested and I can give you more information. You can reach me directly on my cell phone, which is 772-200-5105. And the other property that I brought to feature is a property that is brand new construction in Jensen Beach. $413,000 is the asking price on this one. It's a little bit larger than the last one. Living square footage is 2,034. And we want to make sure that we give you the information how to contact Anna before we leave today also. So Anna, if you want to tell us how to contact you.
Yes, our team at White Glove Moving Storage and Delivery would love to be able to help you out with any size move that you have in your near future, whether it's simply across the street, across the state, or even across the country. We would be honored to assist. For a complimentary survey, you can reach out to us at 772-778-4750. Visit us online at whitegloveusa.com. We have an online inquiry sheet right there where you can give us some of the details of your move, and a representative will give you a call back. We also have a very, very fun and engaging blog. Yours truly keeps up on it weekly. There's a
Uh-oh.
download. It's all the ins and outs of the Treasure Coast. You'll really have a good time with it. We have a downloadable moving checklist too, whether it's for a residence or for an office. So if you know that you're planning for a move in the future, this is a great resource to help you to figure out what's some of the steps you can take ahead of time just to expedite the process. But the market is changing. If you know of a date, the best time to call is now. Don't wait. I oftentimes kid that people make dinner reservations way before they even think to call their mover, and then they say, I want to move next week. That's just so simple. Yeah. So again, whitegloveusa.com, agent with Beacons Van Lines. Love to be able to assist. We love the Treasure Coast community. We're dedicated to our realtor partners. We're dedicated to a number of the charities throughout this area, and we can do all of that because you all refer us, and we really greatly appreciate it.
Well, and Beacons, boy, I mean, that's been our moving company. Let's see, from San Diego to Connecticut, from Connecticut to Los Angeles, and then from LA to here. So 3 times with Beacons.
Well,
coast to coast.
You have great taste, sir.
Yes. Oh, that's great. That's great. Phone numbers for you all. Let's go with Eileen first.
Okay, so the office phone number is 772-463-6383. You can reach myself or Paula there, also any of the other members of our team. Again, our email address is mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com. Our website, of course, www.mydreamhomeusa.com. Our licenses are held with eXp Realty.
That's great. Paula, a phone number for you?
The cell phone would be 410-271-1914. Be happy to help with any questions that you might have.
All right. And Anna, phone number for you?
Yes, 772-778-4750 or 866-GLOVE-10, specializing in all sorts of senior relocations, moving both locally, nationwide, and art and picture hanging. I know you had mentioned something earlier about decor.
Yes.
And this is the time of year where sometimes you just get these big, beautiful pieces and you look and you say, how am I going to hang that up straight? We work alongside a number of interior designers, and that's just one other specialty we can bring to the table when we're already there doing the move. Why not have us hang all those pictures for you too?
Awesome.
Wow. So do I have to get rid of my purple walls when I
No,
sell a
those
house?
are your
Oh.
special walls, right?
And you will have no buyers. I guarantee you.
You never know.
Well,
Somebody
actually-
might like
Yeah.
those purple walls as much as you do.
Actually,
Absolutely.
some of our friends from California would probably love that stuff. Anyway, well, hey, show 1 in the books.
Yay! Yay!
Eileen Simons, Paula Brady, and Anna Valencia. This is a My Dream Home radio show right here on WPSL Port St. Lucie, WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station since 1954 on Google Home, Alexa, and TuneIn. I knew I'd forget something. And video of this show will be seen on WPSL TV a little bit later this week.